will depend how they will proceed.
Orderly default is possible. Your view, Blanka Kolenkova. Thank you very much for joining us from IHS Global Insight. I'm not having problems with my names today, I do apologise. Let's cross now live to Athens, where we have Elena Panaritis, a MP for the Socialist PASOK Party. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Fresh elections called. I wonder, firstly, do we have a date?
No, we don't have a date because the final decision is not yet out. We're having another meeting tomorrow, which will finalize whether or not we will have elections or we're going to go with government of experts, if you wish to call them.
OK. Ms. Panaritis, I mean, it was very clear, was it not, 9 days ago, your party had a very humiliating night. Your party preaches austerity, and yet voters rejected both your party and austerity last time round. Is it time to change the message?
I think it's more than trying to change the message. I think the situation as it is right now is the punishment vote has come very strongly to PASOK, but also to all other political parties, because the final understanding among the voters is that that whole political system that has been managing the modern, if you wish, organized democracy of Greece for the last 38 years has failed. That's why no one has received more than 20% of the vote. So really what we have seen after the elections is a transition between my party, PASOK, and New Democracy as well, in accepting to have a conversation in renegotiating, if you wish, the terms of the bailout plan. And I'm not really sure if this is enough of a...
On that point, I'm very sorry to cut you off, and I know we're suffering from a time delay here, so please bear with me. But on that point, Ms. Panaritis, I mean, it's very clear that the Greek people, it would appear, have had enough of austerity, and yet your party continues to promote it as a policy.
Completely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They haven't really had enough of austerity. What is really going on, and it's very important to transmit this piece of information, is that the average middle-class Greek has been completely confused. And that's because the crisis was misdiagnosed to start with, so we started with the wrong footing. It's not really a vote against the austerity measures per se. It's a vote against being fooled constantly for the last 2.5 years by both ourselves and lately New Democracy. How this has happened is with that misdiagnosis of the crisis. There was a misdiagnosis of the crisis, perceiving the crisis as a regular liquidity crisis whereby years of austerity will bring us back on our feet. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Our crisis is a solvency crisis. It's a deep-rooted restructuring that needs to take place so that our productive capacity gets back on its feet. And that requires a lot more than just 1 year or 2 years of austerity. It requires deep structural reforms.
Deep structural reform, which is leading to very high unemployment. Deep structural reform, which has left your economy in a recession for a 5th year in a row. Austerity, deep structural reform, whatever you call it, it's not working, is it?
Yeah. Well, you see that it's not whatever you call it, because they're two completely different things. Austerity is what has generated further recession. Structural reforms are deregulation, ability to privatize, ability to have simplified system of investing, ability to have a better judicial system so that we can attract more investors. That requires longer-term reforms, and it hasn't really shown any outcomes. That's what people want. They don't want to keep on seeing their salaries being cut. And as a result, they feel that they've been fooled, and they feel that they had enough of patience. Okay. So they reacted. They reacted with that ugly vote, if you wish.
An ugly vote, and a vote you clearly feel was a warning and a form of punishment for your party and New Democracy. Do you think then that this next time round, the next election, will deliver a different result?
I'm giving you my personal opinion, and I'm skeptical about the fact that we will have a better result today. That's why we all try very, very hard not to go through elections. If, however, we have to go through elections, then we have to fight very hard so that we will have a conscientious, a different conscientious voter created out there, and we will only have basically 3 to 4 weeks to do so. With a skeptical outcome.
Okay. Elena Panaritis, MP for the Socialist PASOK Party, thank you very much for joining us live from Athens to talk about that.